Hello everyone, I thought I'd do a comparison between the ThruNite Ti3 and the ThruNite 201, and they're very similar short little torches that both take one AAA battery, but I thought I'd do a video that explains what the difference between them is. So the ThruNite T01 is the slightly cheaper model, and it's the one on the bottom here, and you can see that it's ever so slightly shorter by about a couple of millimeters, not very much. And both of them take a single single AAA battery, but the Ti3 has multiple modes where the T01 just has the high mode, and when you've got them both on the highest brightness, they're very similar in brightness. This Ti3 is a bit dimmer because it's in neutral white, whereas the T01 I've got is in cool white, but if you had the Ti3 in cool white as well, they'd be pretty much identical. If you don't know what that means, it's basically that with LED lights they're in almost a different shade of colour. So, cool white is like a bluer looking white, whereas neutral white is a bit yellower looking, and neutral white's a bit darker to the eye. So they both take the same type of battery, a AAA. What I'm going to do is just weigh them for you to show you the difference in weight. There won't be much, as I said, this is a couple of millimeters shorter. If you compare it to the size of a battery, you'll see that they're pretty small torches. So you just reset the scale. So first we've got the T01, and that's about 10 grams according to this scale. And the Ti3 is about 11 grams, so not much difference at all despite the extra millimeter or so in length. Now another thing to note is that the Ti3 comes with one of these clips that's really handy to put on a hat or a jacket or a pocket or something, and the T01 doesn't. You can take this clip off and put it on this flashlight, but you'd have to buy this one first to do it or have one of the clips. This one doesn't come with a clip because it's sort of the cheaper, sort of more budget model. So what I'll do now is I'll put the same battery in both and switch it between them so you can see the modes on it. As I said, bear in mind that the Ti3, if you had two of the same type of LED light colour, would be the same brightness as far as I'm aware, or very very close to it, but because one's in neutral white and one's in cool white, the one in cool white will look brighter to the camera. So I'll show you that now. So this is the T01, and as mentioned, this only has one brightness option, which is just the very bright mode, and that's certainly bright enough. I think you get about 40 minutes out of a single AAA battery approximately on one of these, and yeah, that's very bright, but that's the only mode. If you turn it off and on, you only get the very high mode. Now if I switch the battery over to the other ThruNite, you get several modes on this. Basically, you can twist it to go through the modes. See, that's the high again, the same brightness roughly as the other one, except this is a yellower light because it's the neutral white. And you also can do it quickly to get the strobe mode on this one, like that. So this has more functions basically, but other than that, in terms of brightness, they're pretty much identical. So, those are the two flashlights. As said, they're both very similar. Just simply that the Ti3 really is a couple of millimeters longer and has the functions on it, whereas this one is just a full bright torch. So really what you get is up to you. They're both, as I said, very similar. It just depends, do you want functions or not, and it to come with this clip, which is pretty handy. And both are very good everyday carry torches, or flashlights, however you want to call them, and very similar, so it's really up to you. You won't have much of a difference in experience with them, but what I'd personally recommend is, I think the T01 is better as a little pocket torch because you've just got that one function, which makes it easier to use, to quickly get a bright light. And then to use something like the ThruNite Archer, if you want a bigger, even brighter torch, because you can go through the modes on this one with a button, which I find is a lot more practical personally. Whereas with those you have to, save the Ti3, keep twisting the lid to get the different functions. So what I'd personally say is, if I had to choose of buying one, If I only wanted a normal everyday carry torch with several functions, I'd get a Ti3, but if I was going to get two torches, I'd get a T01 as a little pocket torch and something like the Archer to have more functions with. But there you go. I'll have links in the description if you're interested in any of the flashlights, and there's a voucher code for the ThruNite store, which is ThruNite, which should get you 5% off. Thanks for watching. Hope that's cleared anything up if you didn't know what the difference were between these two flashlights.